Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this week's Sunday Reset. This one is going to be about planning. Whenever I hear the word planning, I think of God laughs when you make plans, and I have been in that state of, I'm sure the universe, God, whoever is in charge of the show up there, has a permanent stitch in their side from me just thinking I know what I'm doing, or that I know what's coming next, because I have been proven to be very much mistaken time and again in my life, and that's just how that goes, right? And something that I am really leaning into, especially at this point in my life, and all of my past experiences cumulatively have really been cumulatively. Is that a word? It is today. Shakespeare did it, I can't. It's all added up to just me finally at my big old age realizing that I need to accept that things aren't always going to be what I had planned. And that doesn't mean that they're not just as good as what I had planned, and maybe even better than what I had planned. And that sometimes the best things that happen to a person are things that they did not plan on. I'm sure we all know at least one person who exists, who their very existence was not a plan, but is still very much incredible and perfect and absolutely necessary, right? So, to start off my ramble, rant, whatever you want to call it, my mini TED Talk, plan all you want, but be ready to accept when things have to change. I am working on a series for the fall for this channel, and I have all of my videos planned out all the way to the end of November. I have started recording some of those videos, and along the way I have completely had to scrap some of my plans. And in the moment that it happened, I was recording the video and I realized that I had crossed my streams a little bit, and I was really upset with myself because I was like, why did I do that? Like, all of my planning, and it just had to go out the window, and I had to rework pretty much everything on the fly. And I am a perfectionist. I'm very much a perfectionist, and it is to my detriment more often than not. I'm realizing, again, as I grow older and I experience more things, I realize how much of a hindrance it is to be such a perfectionist. It actually makes me pretty what's the word? Unproductive. It's perfection is the antithesis to productivity. It really truly is, because you don't get anything done because you keep going back over things you've already done, because in your mind they're not good enough. And so you're just stuck in this loop on this one part of the journey, and you're not moving forward and you're not progressing because you're just so bogged down in the details of this one specific aspect of it. It's like advice for writers is to just write and not worry about grammar, spelling. You just write. and you don't judge it, that gets you a full story beginning to end, versus writing the first half chapter and then going back and saying none of this is right, and then you rewrite that first half chapter and then it's still not right. And so you rewrite it and you rewrite it and you rewrite it, and you don't even have half a chapter, versus the version of yourself that allowed and accepted and didn't stop to be critical of it has a whole book that they can now go back and rework where it needs to be reworked, but they have a whole book. And that was me for for pretty much my whole life, was just stuck rewriting that half chapter instead of letting things flow naturally and getting to the end of the book. I think the reason this really came up for me is because I have a birthday coming up, and I also am rounding the bend of my personal new year as well. I have a video about that. But my personal new year, it's a big one, and it definitely highlights how far off the plan I have strayed at this point. I freestyled my way into a whole other timeline. Like, it is nothing like what I thought it was going to be. And the same with my birthday. We all have, like, when we're young, that imagined future for ourselves. I don't have any of that stuff. Not any of it. Even just thinking back to the things that I wanted when I was graduating from high school. I was almost, how many years ago was that? Oh my god, I don't know how to do math. I'm not good at, time math is hard for me. Hold on, give me a second. I actually need to pen and paper this because I don't know how many years ago. That's really sad, but here we are. So much for that high school education, and it was private school too. It's not looking good. Yep, 17 years ago, which is hilarious. That is double my lifetime from there. That's perfect. And it's 17, which is the star. I love the star card. Anyway. That is so synchronistic. I didn't even... There we go. Planning. I planned out what I was going to say in this video. I did not plan that. And look at what happened. Beautiful surprise. Little synchronicity popping up for me there. What was I even saying? I just got so sidetracked. Hold on. Oh my god. Yeah, so I was graduating high school and I had all these plans, and looking at my life right now, I don't have none of that stuff is what's present in my reality. And I don't feel bad about it. I think what tends to happen when people do that sort of reflection is that they focus on the don'ts and the I didn't do's and I didn't get and I don't have, and they don't spend enough time sitting with the energy of the things that they never thought about having back then that they do have. Like, maybe there's a friend that they met because of a turn that they took that was off the path, and that person changed their whole life, changed their whole outlook. Speaking vaguely on my personal New Year. If I had not gone through the experience that led to me having this specific anniversary, I never would have started doing yoga, and I never would have started this channel, and I never would have learned to appreciate how smart I am. Because of the videos that I have planned for my fall series videos, I had to go back and watch my old videos, and I don't think it's like conceited or narcissistic to say this, but I genuinely, when I hear some of the things that I've said, I'm like, damn, that was smart. Like, damn, that's deep. And that's why I always say that I'm speaking more to myself on this channel than anyone else, because for the most part, I'm the only one watching most of the videos. Like, I know there's people watching the videos because like I see that there's views, but like when I go back to look at something, or like I'll be making a reference to something and I'll go back to watch the video, there's always something that I say where I'm like, oh wow. And I love that. And I never would have learned about my ability to speak to the soul if I had not gone through what I went through. It's 4 years ago now. It's 4 years. Yeah. That also links to one of my other videos of finding the good in the bad. And this is kind of a longer Sunday reset, so I'm gonna put a little bow on it here and say, let this video be a reminder to whoever is out there who's stuck in that rewriting the first half chapter of their story. Make your plans. There is nothing wrong with having a plan. You should absolutely have a plan. But make sure that you are leaving yourself open to changes in those plans, and leave yourself room to accept those happy accidents that come up that might end up being the best thing that's ever happened to you. Live your life, have your plan, set a course for yourself, but make sure that you are open to receiving surprises and changes and detours along the way, because who knows what's gonna come up? Who knows? Nobody knows what's at the end of this. Not anyone down here anyway. In this particular plane of existence, we don't know what's at the end. Anyway, that's your sermon for Sunday. I hope that you have a good rest of your week, and I hope that you make little time to sit with that energy of opening yourself up to changing your plans. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and I hope that you are well.